What does the future of solar power look like? The sun is the biggest source of energy in our solar system, and for thousands of years, human beings have exploited its energy to heat their homes, cook their meals, and produce hot water. In ancient times, when heating a home wasn't as simple as turning on the central air, civilizations such as the Egyptians and the Greeks had to plan months, if not years in advance to make their homes habitable during the winter. Armed with their knowledge of the sun's seasonal position in the sky, many homes were strategically built to capture as much of the sun's heating rays as possible during the day so that they would stay relatively warm during the night. Many years later, in the late 19th century, we were still harnessing the sun's energy with simple passive solar water heaters. Although these water heaters were nothing more than a simple black painted barrel, they were still capable of storing hot water for extended periods of time by absorbing the sun's heat during the day. Lucent Technologies Inc. via Bell Labs AP. However, it wasn't until 1954 that the world saw its first silicon solar panel. Created by Bell Labs, the technology represented a huge leap in humankind's ability to harness the sun's energy, and since then, the world has made tremendous progress in solar panel technology. In fact, countries such as Germany receive more than half of their electricity from solar, which demonstrates that renewables such as solar are quite capable of supplanting traditional fuel sources when a concerted effort is made. The current state of solar as it stands now, the world only gets about 1% of its energy resources from solar. However, it is entirely feasible that in the next 30 years this percentage could skyrocket to as high as 27%. At 27%, solar energy systems such as solar farms and concentrating solar power, CSP, plants would become the world's most valuable energy resource, generating more energy than fossil fuels, wind, or hydroelectric systems, as well as reducing carbon emissions by 6 billion tons per year. Modern-day solar panels have a maximum efficiency of about 33%, meaning that much of the sun's solar radiation goes to waste even under the most ideal circumstances. This is a major obstacle that solar energy systems must overcome to achieve exponential growth in the energy industry. Because of this inefficiency, the solar industry is investing heavily in finding new ways of improving the efficiency of solar energy systems, with three of the biggest developments being in solar energy storage, Perovskites, and multi-junction cells. Solar energy storage. A major obstacle to solar energy production comes in the form of solar energy storage. Solar energy storage is crucial to the success of future energy systems because, without it, any excess electricity that is generated throughout the day cannot be utilized at a later time when sunlight isn't as plentiful, like at night. Energy storage allows solar energy plants to store excess energy so that it can be sold and used at a later time for a variety of reasons, including load leveling, emergency preparedness, and grid stabilization. While these solar battery storage systems seem like a no-brainer, there is still much work to be done in bringing down the costs of these systems as they primarily consist of expensive lithium-ion batteries. As costs go down and efficiency goes up, we should start to see battery storage installations become more commonplace in the future. What are perovskites? Since the creation of the first solar panels in 1954, silicon has been the primary material used in solar cells. However, since silicon panels are intrinsically inefficient at creating usable energy, researchers have been looking into alternative materials, like perovskites, to replace current silicon technology. Perovskite, Casio3, is a naturally occurring mineral that displays a wide variety of useful properties, the most important one of which is superconductivity. Interestingly, the term perovskites also refers to a family of synthetic materials created to mimic the orthorhombic crystal structure found in the naturally occurring mineral, and because perovskites can be synthetically produced, they hold the potential to be both cheaper to produce and easier to work with than silicon. In the past 7 years alone, solar cells created with perovskites have gone from an efficiency rating of just 3.8% to 20.1%. This rate of progress is promising to researchers and developers alike, as lowering the cost of solar panels is a key step to achieving exponential growth in the industry. However, there are some technical hurdles to overcome with panels made out of perovskites, as perovskites decompose far too quickly to be implemented in real-world applications. If this technical hurdle can be solved, and if perovskite panel efficiency can surpass silicon panel efficiency, then the solar market will undoubtedly make the switch, resulting in even more growth and a greater variety in solar energy production. Multi-junction cells. While the industry waits for silicon alternatives, solar developers are pursuing other methods of increasing panel efficiency, one of which is the creation of multi-junction cells. Multi-junction cells are essentially regular PV panels but with added layers to increase efficiency. Each layer of a multi-junction cell is optimized to a particular wavelength, effectively increasing the efficiency of the panel to rates as high as 40%. When these multi-junction cells are used in an array, the amount of total electricity that can be generated from them, compared to traditional panels, increases exponentially. However, the extra materials and engineering required to bring these panels to operating capacity means that they are far more expensive than traditional panels. Because of this price difference, and depending on the location, solar developers still may opt to use traditional solar panels instead. The future of solar panels. The Tesla solar roof. While rooftop solar installations can reduce one's energy bill, they're also a bit unsightly to those who really care about the outward appearance of their home. However, companies such as Tesla are working on future solar panels that are more aesthetically pleasing, and have now nearly reached the point where you can't even tell that there are any solar panels installed at all. Tesla's solar roof is comprised of PV panels that look just like any other panel that might be used on the roof of a home, but provides the added benefit of solar energy generation. This technology, in combination with home energy storage, is a perfect example of how solar energy is becoming literally built in and more a part of our world than ever before. With further advancements in creative thinking in future solar energy projects, it might not be long before the vast majority of our surfaces are generating electricity.